Hi guys, it is Magentaman43, and today I'll be doing a different type of video. We're going to be looking at my vinyl collection, and if you haven't noticed, I have a microphone now. I don't intend to use it in all my videos, but I thought I'd pull it out today to test it out. I am excited to see how this video comes out, because I don't normally do stuff like this, but I got my water, as every ASMR YouTuber should. Nice. Let's get right into it. So the vinyls that I'll be looking at today, I got like 20 records from my grandparents' house, and I'll not be looking at those. Like, there's some pretty good ones in there, and they were very classic. Like, we got the Tears for Fears songs from the Big Chair album, which has, of course, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Shout, and plenty of other good songs on there, which is a nice album, and I have listened to this multiple times on my record player, but we will only be counting records that I bought myself on here. The first record I ever bought before I even had a record player, I didn't know if I wanted to start collecting them. I was contemplating it, and then at Walmart I found 2014 Forest Hills Drive by J. Cole, and this is probably... It was my favorite album for a very long time when I was early getting into rap music. It has so many amazing songs on it. It has Apparently, it has Wet Dreams, Love Yours, Fire Squad, No Role Models, of course, and there's even more. I'm not going to list every track on the album, even though I do love each track individually, except for Hello, which I despise. But I'm not going to get into that. It's a very nice record. It is one of the most, available ones. I've seen it at almost every Walmart I've gone to. But yeah, it's a good starter, and I am very glad that I got it. I'm probably going to do some stuff with the records that trigger people, but for now, I'm just going to put it back in there. Normally, I would keep my records up on my wall, which is why there's just this blank void, but I don't want to spoil any of the surprises, because I know you guys are very excited. Next up, this is the second one I bought before I had a record player, and it is Fuzzy Brain by Dayglow. Now, most people know this album as the album with Can I Call You Tonight. That's what I knew it as originally too. And then someone recommended the song Listerine to me, and I loved it even more than Can I Call You Tonight. And I was like, you know what, it's only 10 tracks, 30 minutes, I'll give it a chance. And it is a fantastic album. Easily one of, if not my favorite non-rap album, or at least non-hip-hop related album, and it really gave me a great intro to indie pop sounds and stuff like that, and it looks very cool. Dayglow has some very nice, touches to it. I gave away one of the pieces of it to my friend, which I regret, but that had all the lyrics on the album. It has this very trippy looking holder sleeve, and the actual record itself is pink. I'm not going to pull it all the way out, but yeah, so that's very pleasing to look at, just like the album is very pleasing to listen to. I love this album. I have not talked about it on my channel very much. I said that was the second one I ever bought, but technically this is the second one, because when it came out, I knew it was going to sell out immediately. So I bought it, and then it came 6 months later. And that is my favorite album of all time. If you've stuck around for any other videos on my channel, I've probably mentioned it. And that is Care For Me by Saba. Now this is technically a limited edition one, because with the repress, most of the time they did gray, but they did black for this one. So that's kind of cool, even though I think I kind of wanted the gray one. But I'll take what I can get, because it did sell out in, I'm pretty sure, under a day, but I bought it, so we're good. I'm not gonna lie, I love Saba, but this record came in horrible condition. It's got a cut at the top, and in the actual sleeve, there's some more cuts, and there's a couple, issues with the actual record itself, and, playing, which is not a huge deal, but, of course, it just doesn't, it's not... Given that I waited 6 months for it, I don't know if it was worth it, but it's worth listening to Saba, and I really just like to have it as a decoration in my room, because it means so much to me, and I love this album. And I mentioned in another video that I wrote an entire script about how much I love this album, and I didn't make a video for it. I do have a video about the album, but that's very outdated, and I did a horrible job with it, so I might take that down. I may have already taken it down, but Care For Me by Saba. Okay, now, around Christmas this year, my relatives were asking me what I wanted, and I had a lot of records that I was interested in getting, and they all kind of made fun of me a bit because I'm in high school, and that's not a very high school thing to get, but they all thought I was an old man. But they got me a couple, including No Pressure by Logic. Now, I know it's Logic, and I have grown off of Logic's music a lot, but this album, it's different for me. It is really the first Logic album that I listened to that I was not hate listening to. I did not listen to his music pretty much at all until, well, this album was relatively new. In fact, most of my experience with his music was a TikTok I saw in 2018 where someone made fun of someone for liking Logic. And listening to his music around 2018 and 2019, that's very fair. But this album, it has definitely my two favorite Logic songs back to back, which are Dad Bod and Man I Is. It's a very pleasing album to listen to. It really fits what I want and what I enjoy about Logic's music. And it should have been his final album. He shouldn't have came out of retirement. I'm upset that he did that. But it's a good album, and I'm glad I have it. I know we won't put it up with these top 6, but I still like it. And No Pressure by Logic. And now we have another one of my personal favorite albums, which all of them are my personal favorites, but this is at the top tier of albums I like. All American Badass by Joey Badass. Now this album, it is very different from the rest of Joey's music, even though it's probably his most mainstream sounding album. But I love every single song on it. It's so hard to find things to dislike about it. The production's fantastic. Joey's rapping is fantastic. And tracks like Why You Don't Love Me, Super Predator, Ring the Alarm, I listen to them all the time. And this album has a ton of replay value, and it's probably one of the albums that I listen to on my record player the most. But yeah, it's got some very cool visuals too, with the whole KKK theme, which covers a lot of topics on the album too in lyrics. But yeah, another album that means a ton to me is Swimming by Mac Miller. Now this is like one of the most emotionally meaningful albums of me because it really did touch me, and I know that it touched a lot of other people too, with just the impact, the message, everything Mac was trying to go after. And it is truly a beautiful project, and it can make you cry with like the final 3 tracks on the album, which are Jet Fuel, 2009, and So It Goes, are all extremely depressing to listen to, and I play them all the time because they're fantastic songs. But also, if you want to be in a good mood, there's tracks like What's the Use, and Ladders, and Hurt Feelings, and Self-Care. And it's really got songs for every mood. It's a beautiful project. I love Mac Miller's music, and this album is fantastic. And it's one of the records that I play all the time. An album that I've got into, and an artist that I've gotten into way more recently, is Childish Gambino. And Camp especially is one of the more recent projects because I have always listened to a bit of Gambino's music, mostly because of the internet, and then one of my friends recommended this project to me, and I was kind of hesitant. I don't really know why, but then I played the tracks Firefly and Bonfire, just like they randomly came up in my suggested songs, and I was in love. I listened to the whole thing front to back, and I was obsessed with Childish Gambino for a couple weeks there. And this album, his lyricism is unique and beautiful, and so creative. Everything about this project's creative. I can say amazing things about most tracks on the album. My personal favorites are Firefly, All the Shine, Heartbeat, Hold You Down, and That Power. All of them are just beautiful. And Childish Gambino's music is so layered and full, and clearly has so much time put into it, and especially this project, and I love it for that. An album that I have also talked about a lot, and I just got this vinyl in the mail like a week ago, is How We Intended by Marlon Craft. Now this album, I just made my top 10 albums of 2021 video, and I'm gonna, spoiler alert, this is the number one album out of all of them. My memory of listening to this album for the first time was fantastic, and it has so much replay value, so many different things, such a high quality project for a very not well known guy. But I do love this album, and I'm very happy to have it and add to my collection, because it really does mean so much to me, even though it's not even a year old. It's a very small vinyl, very thin, but it contains some amazing music on there. Now we have the most recent vinyl that I've got, and it is a limited edition one, so if I'm touching it with my fingertips, you guys are probably going to get pretty triggered, but I will be doing that. And it is a limited edition version of KOD by J. Cole. Now when I saw this cover, I instantly fell in love. All the covers for KOD are amazing, but this one especially, with the coloration and the clouds and everything, I just absolutely love it. It's one of the most, if not my favorite, most underrated album that I've heard in a very long time. It has so much thought put into it, so much concepts, so much conceptualness in it, and it has so many different elements combined, and I really do love it. And I've seen a lot of hate towards this album, but I love it. Now, given it's a limited edition, it has its flaws, and the record gets completely stuck during 1985, which I've played through a couple times and found out the hard way, but I still love it, and it's an amazing decoration because it's so colorful. But yeah, limited edition KOD by J. Cole. And now, the reason I filmed this video was because it finally came in the mail, and I have a surprise opening of another vinyl that I've been very excited to get for a long time and had my eye on for a while. So we'll be unboxing it. I'm probably going to do something wrong, and people who are purists about vinyl will get mad at me for it when opening this. I'm gonna try not to cut it, because I spent a lot of money on this. Well, guess whose camera stopped recording right towards the end of the video? This guy. So, I unboxed it, I looked at it, I talked about it, and I ended the video. And then I found out that my phone stopped working right before I opened it. So, it's probably the most inconvenient time, because I was in the process of opening it, which means it's too late for me to just record another take opening it. And it's also right before I showed what it is. So now I just have another record, and you don't know what it is. And it's less surprising and fun. But the album I got here is a limited edition Genesis by Domogenesis. Now this album is one of the most vinyl deserving albums. Just the sound of it, the creativity, everywhere that it goes, the topics it covers, the lyrics. It's one of the most colorful albums, and it's definitely one of the albums that I've been wanting to have on vinyl for a very long time, and it feels like it's going to be perfect to have playing in the background of my room, just to provide that amazing energy that this album has. And I did get a limited edition version, and when I unboxed it, I realized it's in pretty bad condition. There's plenty of crinkles, and there's plenty of cuts in here. That's not supposed to be there, but it's a used copy, so that was pretty much expected. And it is a limited edition club version, and it is like magenta / clear, which looks really cool. I'm super glad I got it, and it like matches the actual color of the album, which is great. And the regular vinyl was expensive on its own, so I'm glad I just spent a little extra money to get a limited edition, which is also magenta, and it's limited. So I'm just so glad that I got this, and I can finally say I have it, because I've been waiting for this for a while now, and even before I bought it, I had my eye on it for a couple months. But yeah, Genesis limited edition vinyl. And with that note, we're, for the second time, gonna end the video. Now, this was a pretty boring video. I know that, I'm admitting it, and it wasn't meant to be the most entertaining video. It's kind of just me showing off my collections and getting a moment to show some appreciation for some albums that I really like. I want to grow my collection, so if I get a bunch more vinyls down the road, I might make another video just to show off even more. And I might do a video talking about some of these albums in depth, because I freestyled this whole video, and I did not plan out what to say about the albums, which I feel like can do a lot of injustice a lot of the time, which is why I like planning out videos more. But thanks for watching. If you want more music content, including my reaction to Corday's new album, From a Bird's Eye View, which is coming out this Friday, I'm so excited for it. I'm going to be recording a reaction to that, and I'm super hyped, and I hope I end up releasing that. So if you want to see that, stay tuned, and please leave a subscribe. That would be very nice of you, and I would appreciate it. But thanks for watching. Bye.